Hi guys, I hope you are doing well. Today we'll be making a Subway, as I have developed a taste for Subways over the last couple of years, and being a vegetarian for the last 17 years, it is a very good addition in my life. However, I do feel that vegetarians suffer a little in terms of the choices available to them. So today I'm going to develop my own little Subway and I hope you like it. It's pretty simple to replicate and does not require many ingredients. So let's start making this beautiful Subway. So first things first, I've got this masala loaf, and you can take any loaf which is available in the market. There are garlic loaves, there are plain loaves. I got a masala loaf, so more flavor, so I decided to take this, and I'm going to cut it into a half. I'm not making a foot long, but you can also make a foot long. Let's start cutting into this, and remember not to go till the deep end of it or else you'll end up separating both sides. So here I've got a bread knife which is advisable to use, and here we go. So it should look somewhat like this after cutting it from the middle. So one of the most exciting parts of a Subway experience is to decide on all the toppings and the sauces that you want in your Subway. And today I'm going to be showing you 3 such sauces which I've made using very simple ingredients. And justifying its position as a mother sauce, mayonnaise plays a huge part in all of these sauces. So let's start discussing all these derivatives of the eggless mayonnaise. So I've made 3 sauces for this Subway, starting with a mint mayonnaise which I've made using eggless mayonnaise with a little bit of mint chutney that we use for our daily meals. That gives this a light minty color, along with a very nice fresh flavor, and I've also added a little bit of crushed pepper to it. Followed by making this nice Southwestern kind of a sauce in which I've used eggless mayonnaise. I've added some chilli sauce which is readily available in the market, and I've squeezed in a dash of lemon juice. And finally I've made a honey mustard mayo, which is a classic sauce used for many recipes. So I've made it using a little bit of mustard and I've added a little bit of honey to it. So since we are making a mushroom Subway today, we'll be making the best use of the mushrooms that we have. So I'll be using button mushrooms, as those are abundantly available and I can experiment more with them. So let's start. So first we'll be making a quick batter, and this is very similar to the one I made for the cottage cheese burger that we prepared a few weeks ago. So we'll start by adding some refined flour, followed by some corn flour, followed by a little bit of red chili powder, some smoked paprika powder, this is some garlic powder which adds a lot of taste to your batter, and some oregano. And I'm going to add this buttermilk to it. We are going to whisk it all in. So the next step is to start prepping our button mushrooms. I'm going to remove the stalks. Here I've got some grated mozzarella, and I'm going to add in a little bit of pepper to this, followed by adding a little bit of oregano. Not going to be adding salt as it has enough of it already. And the idea is to fill these cavities with this cheese. So stuff it in a way where it sort of covers the cavity. And our mushrooms are prepped now. We're just going to join sets of 2, and you're going to make them according to their size. So the small ones go with the small ones. So I make these mushroom balls as a nice starter as well. So you can always do so. You can serve it separately. It can go in a hot dog. It can be a part of many gravies after deep frying it. So there's a lot you can do by learning this simple mushroom ball recipe. Time to deep fry it. So I'm just going to insert a toothpick in between the two to sort of hold it together. Just be a little gentle. You don't want the balls to break. You should be able to see the end of the toothpick while inserting it. So the next thing for it is to go inside the batter and sort of coat the whole thing properly. Do it for all the pieces. And in the meanwhile, start heating your oil. In the time your oil is heating, just coat your mushroom balls with breadcrumbs. These can be fresh breadcrumbs or store-bought breadcrumbs. So it's time to start frying these mushroom balls one by one. You're looking for medium to high heat, and you can always check it by putting some of these breadcrumbs inside and see if they crackle. So now we are going to start plating up our Subway, and we are going to be using a variety of vegetables. I am going to be using both romaine lettuce as well as some iceberg lettuce to give it a nice crunch. I am going to be using some red onions, a little bit of cucumber with the peel on, and some tomatoes which are vertically sliced as I prefer them that way, and some spring onions for garnish. And we are also going to be using pickled cucumbers known as gherkins, which are also put in your kimchi salad. So it's always a good idea to keep a bottle jar of these at home. So let's start plating up. Here we've got our bread, and now I'm going to put some cheese slice in it. Next goes in our iceberg lettuce. Next goes in our romaine lettuce, followed by tomatoes. Again, we are going to be following the same rule where everything is protruding from the sides so that it gives a good look to the Subway towards the end. Next goes in our cucumbers. Next goes in our gherkins. So I'm just going to slice it from between. Next goes in our mushroom balls. I'm going to gently remove this toothpick from the sides. Then cut it diagonally into a half. Followed by red onions. You can caramelize them if you want, and some black olives. And now it's time to start plating up. Next goes in our sauces. First goes in our version of the Southwestern sauce. Followed by a mint mayonnaise, and finally our honey mustard mayo. And to top it all up, a dash of spring onions. And for the final touch, some crispy potato wedges, which I admit in this case are store-bought, but I'll surely bring my own potato wedge recipe for you very soon. And a final seasoning of crushed pepper if you like it, along with some oregano. So guys, this Subway is ready, and I hope you liked my version of this Subway, and please do replicate it and let me know how it turned out. And the best part about this recipe is that it's a 2-in-1 recipe where it can work as a starter as well as a nice sandwich. So please like the video and subscribe to my channel, and I'll be back with more such videos. Thank you.